And we're live. I
Hey
hope everyone.
everyone, welcome back to this live session. Itzik, how are you doing? How are you holding up
Oh,
during a
I'm great.
CTF?
I'm actually looking at the dashboards and I'm looking at everything here. Pretty excited about what I'm seeing. I can tell you that just by looking at it, 99 solutions, correct solutions were posted in the system since the beginning. You can count that by going one by one, but I have that here. So it's 99 solutions. So it's pretty crazy. I love what you guys are doing and playing and really trying hard to get in. Even people who solved only one, it's a nice achievement. It's not easy. It's not easy because
Yeah.
many of you don't have the experience to do
Yeah,
things
just
like
look
that.
at all the attempts that are made on challenges, and
Yep.
even if you can just solve one, you know, 200 attempts have been made, and you were one of the 40 or the 34 that were able to solve that challenge. So, I
Mhm.
mean, that's just an amazing achievement already.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, and also the number of attempts here is only the attempts on the platform. Most of
yeah,
the attempts are done outside. Like you take Postman and you post there. There are thousands of attempts. I can tell you from logs of the actual challenges, thousands of attempts overall. But specifically in the platform, people attempted quite a lot, anyways. So I think when I'm looking at it, I think one and two were solved pretty nicely. I mean, even number two, even surprisingly better than number one. People were able to solve. 39 people were able to solve it pretty nicely. And then we saw a drop. It's now 14, but it's still quite a big drop, like between 40 and 14 in number three, which is not surprising because number three is three peppers, and there's a steep kind of complexity increase here. And we thought maybe kind of like walk through that, and I don't know if hints are the right is the right word, but kind of like provides you with a little more help and push, a little push to try to solve it. So as
yeah,
we're
exactly.
reviewing, yeah. So I think it will be nice to look at it. So note that this is using EJS as a library for templates. Okay, so there are some vulnerabilities with EJS. It's very different than other template engines that are rich. It's quite different. But if you go to the documentation of EJS, you can probably find a lot of useful information that can give you some direction about how to maybe potentially try to exploit something here. Okay, it's not the only thing that you'll have to solve here, but if you are able to understand at least that how you go about attacking that EJS configuration that we have here, that's going to take you a little bit further, and then you'll have to jump on over above or above over another hump to get the flag. So
Itzik,
many people
I'll
ask,
stop you for
"Yep,
1 second, and,
yep,
and we'll get back to this. But can you reload the page? Because I believe we have
oh
our
my God,
first
that is
winner of the event coming in right here.
that's so
Congratulations, Stuart Larson. Wow.
yeah, that's really great. Wow, that's so great that it happened during the live event. Well, congrats. This is not easy, guys. I mean,
No,
number
not at
six
all.
here is
I've talked with some
definitely
of
one
the
of the.
other people that are trying this challenge, and everybody has their own wild ideas. But I think Stuart was the only one that was like, I know this is the solution, and I'm gonna keep on fighting till I get it. And he definitely did. This is wow. This is a difficult challenge. I'm surprised that within 4 hours, only 4 hours, like a little bit more, he
Mhm.
was able to solve all six of these challenges. That's like less than an hour per challenge, which is mind
Amazing.
boggling.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing, amazing. So, congrats. So, we can say that now, even 2 hours before the end of the event, we can even say that we have a winner. We have the first place. But guys, don't get discouraged because you still have second and third place to compete for. And you have people here with five solutions. We don't know who's the first person to solve the sixth one. So keep on at it and don't be deterred. Um, so Great. That's awesome. So going back to our number 3, if anyone is still stuck here, again, reading the documentations of EJS can give you maybe hints on how to kind of like tackle and think about maybe bypassing something here and getting the template to give you something that it's not supposed to, and then you'll have to jump over another hump to kind of like get the flag. Many people asked me about where the flag is. That's kind of a little bit kind of the part of the challenge, but there's only one place that actually makes sense here. So once you get to that place, you'll know that it's probably there. You'll just have to search for it. Okay?
Yeah, and like every pen tester should know where to look, or at least if you ever want to do red teams, like this is most likely when you hack an application your way to get through to the entire enterprise. So this is probably something you always should check just whenever you get this type of access.
Right.
And be sure to look correctly, because I had some messages from people saying that they looked at it but didn't look properly, and then wasted like 10 minutes trying to find the flag just for it to be in the first place they actually looked. Have a keen eye.
Exactly. Look at the full picture. Let's call it this way.
And by the way, on this challenge, I had some people send me messages of saying, hey, I don't know what the vulnerability is in this challenge, this one, and for the first one as well. And I'm going to give you a little tip, like just a global tip. And that is, whenever I get code and I don't know what to look for, but I know there's a vulnerability, I ask ChatGPT to just say, hey, analyze this code for me. What do you think could go wrong here? And for these code snippets, ChatGPT won't be able to give you a solution. Not at all. That would be horrible. But it will be able to kind of detect what you should probably be looking for. And and when you have no idea what to research, that can be like a great first pointer to help you dig deeper and to help you with some direction of what to find. So that could be maybe a global tip for all of these challenges. Maybe it's always worth it to just throw the code into ChatGPT and see what it tells you, because there will be some truth in the madness that it spits out.
Yeah, absolutely. ChatGPT is able to analyze code, is able to provide hints on very common. So if you think about it, let me step back. Think about it. If you have, tools like static code analysis tools and dynamic code analysis tools, mostly static actually, dependabots and static analysis. Those are the things that ChatGPT can relatively easily find, because it does read code. It does very successfully read code. It can assemble the picture, and it can tell you, hey, this could be a problem. Like if there's an SQL injection, it would probably note that. It will say, hey, this is not validated. It's not escaped. It's not using any of the best practices. So it's going to give you at least hints on what could go wrong with that. It's, as Robbie mentioned, it's not going to give you the solution, right? So ChatGPT is ethically not capable of providing, kind of like hacking instructions, but it can give you direction. So it's sometimes it's better than a person telling you what to do, because it's actually giving you multiple ideas.
And you can ask it for where it's like, if it gives you an idea, you can ask it, hey, why did you think that? And like, if it says, oh, I think this code is vulnerable, you could just ask, why do you think that? And it will explain its thought process. And that there's also a lot you can learn from the thought process of an AI, for example.
Right. Yeah. So luckily for our game, it won't solve your challenge. Luckily for the world, because nobody wants, to be exposed by having ChatGPT hack their app. But it won't solve the problem for you, but it can give you a lot of nice points to think about and directions to start. So you're not completely out of the kind of like trying to figure out where to start.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, this challenge, definitely like take a deeper look at it. It's a type of vulnerability that is not extremely common, but when it happens, it's very critical. I've actually found one of these in a pretty cool application before. Got a CVE for it. That was really nice. So they do definitely happen in the wild. And I still remember when I exploited that, I looked on Shodan to see how many public instances there were that were vulnerable, and it was something over 10,000 public servers that were like vulnerable to the exact vulnerability that this challenge highlights. So it's definitely useful to learn more about this challenge.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess I'll reiterate. First of all, big congrats to Stuart for solving the sixth one. Guys, it's really, really not easy. You're not like stuck for no reason on this one, because it's hard. But the fact that you solved it is amazing within 4 hours. I'm really actually pleased to see that someone was able to really do that. In addition, we're here to help. So again, technical issues. You have a question, you can DM us. We can. I'm probably not going to give you hints that are going to, help you with solving the thing. But if you're doing something completely wrong, or if you don't understand how to tackle it, just like why don't you just put it on ChatGPT? Things like that, we can definitely say. We want you guys to learn. We want you guys to enjoy and have fun and solve stuff. That's why we also do it gradually. We start with something simple that hopefully, again, it's simple. It might not be simple for someone who's seeing it the first time. Okay. So if you're trained, your brain is trained the way we said before. We said before is like the breaker mindset. Probably easy for you, but not very easy for a lot of other folks. So if you're seeing it the first time, you might want to get a couple of hints that ChatGPT can help. But we're there too. And so I'm really excited about this. We have less than a third of the event is still available for you from a time perspective. And just give it your best attempt. There's still room for more winners. So
yeah, for sure. I'm really curious to see if we are gonna have two more people that finalize that our top 3 with all challenges solved. I'm quite curious. Let's find out, I guess. Since we're also kind of nearing the end, because now there's 2 more hours, and then we'll have the CTF will finish, and then we'll have another live stream where we can all chat amongst each other about the CTF. Itzik, is there anything that you already want to share about write-ups and what will happen after the event with them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So as we always do, we open up our our doors, virtual doors, to get any write-ups and kind of like thoughts you had. So mostly write-ups about, oh, I solved this CTF. Here's what I liked about it, and here's what not necessarily liked, but here's my thought process. That's where I stumped and couldn't figure out what to do. But then I realized that, like, if you can tell a story about the write-up, about the CTF you solved, that's very interesting for a lot of folks to read and learn from, because it also shows your train of thought and your process, not only kind of like the final solution. Oh yeah, it's an XSS. That's what I did. It's like, no, it's your thought process and what are the things that you experimented with and didn't work, but still important to get. If you do that, we will give away swag for even 10 write-up writers, depending on how much we get. But if you write a write-up, or last time we got videos of people walking through those challenges and showing how they solve them. What's going to happen technically is that at the end of the event is going to lock up. So you won't be able to submit more solutions. However, in about 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to reopen that for practice mode, which is going to let you guys continue to play if you want. So that write-up scenario is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. So through Sunday, 2 weeks from now, same time that the event started, 10 a.m. Eastern, you can still submit write-ups. So you have 2 weeks to think about it and write it. If you want to take videos, wait a couple of days, 24 to 48 hours, you will be able to go back in and solve the solutions or show how you solve them, and kind of like play with it a little bit. So yeah. Did I miss anything?
No, I just want to give, because last time I had some people that said, well, I want to make write-ups, but I couldn't solve all the challenges. And maybe it's a crazy idea to even make a write-up of a challenge that you didn't solve, but just talk through the process of, hey, at the beginning, I had no idea where I was going. Then I tried all of these things. That didn't work. I think here the vulnerability is here. I did all of this research. I learned all of these new things. in the end, I still couldn't solve it, but that's fine because I learned all of this stuff now. Like, that's
Exactly.
also perfectly fine. They don't necessarily need to be write-ups of this challenge was solved in this way. If you can tell a story and make it interesting, that is even better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you don't have to write write-ups for all the challenges. If you solved only 2, you can write about those 2 and what you learned and your thought process and so forth. So you don't have to go through the entire 6. It's probably going to be harder if you haven't solved anything, but you can still do what Robbie said about, I went through this path and that's what I learned and so forth. So we're definitely going to review that. Interesting stuff is going to be published, and we're going to pick them, and we're going to give away swag. So we have a swag shop, cool one with a lot of cool things that you can select from. So once we get those write-ups, we'll be more than happy to give away swag for it. So
awesome.
Okay, so let's wrap up this checkpoint here, and meet again at the end of the event at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too late now that we're an hour back in most of Europe and other places. But yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap up the event, announce the winners, which is still, we have first place, but we still don't have second and third place yet. We might have them, but we might not have them. So if anyone solves number 6, you're probably a good candidate to get to second spot right now.
For sure. And even if nobody else solves challenge 6 right now, then the scoreboard just stays at this. Then the person who solved 5 challenges the fastest gets the second place.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. The first 3 people here, as you see them on the top, that's currently the winners. Okay.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
We'll see you in about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Take care.
On the last checkpoint. Excited to see what's going on. What's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.